What's going on, guys? Today, let's react to the Union Pacific Expediter role that they presented to the FRA here a couple of days ago. I didn't really get to see the video. I kind of heard a little bit about it. But I'm just going to watch the actual thing here that UPS shared and give you guys my thoughts. And I want to hear yours as well. So let's get started.
It's a crisp and windy 34 degrees in Morrill, Nebraska on November 6, 2022. At 1900 hours, Sam, freight train conductor, waits for a crew van to pick him up from another hotel stay to take him to a loaded coal train headed to North Platte. Sam's train leverages positive train control, or PTC, to complete in-cab duties, so outside of addressing unplanned events en route to destination, the majority of Sam's conductor work happens inside terminals, at the start and end of a freight train's journey across the network.
Wrong. As you can already see in this video, they are already pretty much saying PTC takes the conductor's role. No, they don't. I don't care what any of you say. No, they don't.
Departure, Sam reviews the track condition bulletins for his route, speed restrictions, timetable requirements, and reviews his train list. Once underway, the locomotive engineer is engaged with the controls of the locomotive, radio, technology, and other tasks. Sam often sits idle in the locomotive for long periods of time, observing a non-interactive PTC display confirming signal and speed compliance, and monitoring and observing all trains for any visible defects, a rare occurrence. Here's an actual example.
Rare occurrence. No, you see trains every day, multiple trains every day. So you're actually looking at multiple trains pretty much hourly, unless you're sitting in the hole. And even then, you're still seeing trains come by you. Union Pacific went in pretty hard on this with the FRA. And I will tell you this, PTC is not a first responder whenever you hit a car, whenever you derail and you have hazardous, loaded material, loaded dangerous cars. Because as a conductor, you are taught and you're supposed to know what you're hauling, who you need to call in case you have a derailment, how many miles you have to evacuate based off wind speed. That has always been my argument from day one. It's still going to be my argument, and I'll never change. PTC can't do none of that.
Example of an event addressed by a conductor on November 6, 2022 at 2227 hours at milepost 143.5 on UP's South Morrill subdivision, just east of Gering, Nebraska. An eastbound loaded coal train lost its air. The conductor, Sam, is 3 hours and 27 minutes into his trip. As the train comes to a stop, blocking County Road 24, he must find and fix the defect before the train can start moving again. Finding the defect requires Sam to walk the length of the train until the problem is found. In this case, it took him 45 minutes to locate the broken knuckle, or 69 cars and 3,914 feet from the head engines. Now starts the real challenge, replacing the 80-plus pound part. But first, Sam must secure the rear portion.
Knuckles don't weigh 80 pounds. They're idiots.
Of the train. The replacement spare knuckle is on the lead locomotive, requiring Sam to radio the engineer, requesting it be dropped off. Before the locomotive engineer pulls the train and Sam ahead to the location of the knuckle repair so he can make the fix. When the repair is complete, Sam rides a shoving move back to the separated cars and recouples the train and air hose. When finished, Sam spends another 45 minutes walking the 69 cars, or 3,914 feet, back to the head end to get underway and finish the trip to North Platte. Time and motion task duration studies identified that Sam needs a total of 3 hours and 14 minutes to get the train moving again. That's 3 hours and 14 minutes added to the customer's transit time. 3 hours and 14 minutes blocking a public crossing on County Road 24. And 3 hours and 14 minutes added to the employee's time away from home. Now, let's take a look at Union Pacific's plan to redeploy Sam, the conductor.
Quickly, real quick, knuckles don't break very often. And before they even go into this, they're about to talk about this conductor being on ground-based conductors. You notice they talked about they're blocking County Road 24. What happens when you block a crossing? You get traffic. How is this conductor supposed to get to that crossing with traffic when he's in a truck? And most of you know that not all vehicles can even have access to where trains go half the time. I could show you all Google Earth right now, satellite images of hundreds and hundreds of miles worth of track going from Sheffield to Memphis that are not accessible by vehicle. Union Pacific is absolutely unbelievable.
Conductor to the ground. Leveraging positive train control, or PTC, Sam's former in-cab duties are safely completed by technology, the locomotive engineer, and wayside detection.
Again, PTC is not a first responder. He can't run back. PTC can't run back to a vehicle after you just hit it. PTC can't run back to a derail after you just had a derail or a train went to emergency and see what's spilling. PTC can't do none of that.
Equipment.
Also can't help the engineer stay awake. Can also relieve the engineer if he has to use the bathroom. Engineer has to stop the train now, and with this going to happen, engineer have to stop the train to use the bathroom. Versus where if the conductor's in the cab, you can keep the wheels rolling.
Protecting the train. The new ground-based expediter role provides 24/7 response to these types of events, yet also provides regular schedules for employees. These employees will drive a truck outfitted with tools and equipment needed to address a variety of scenarios. As a ground-based expediter, Sam has a predictable schedule with consistent days off and returns home daily, something a traditional freight conductor role does not have today. Let's see how Sam addresses the same unplanned November 6, 2022 event on UP's South Morrill subdivision, this time as a ground-based expediter. Sam started his day at home. He drove to the terminal for a shift that started at 1500 hours. Sam is busy with a variety of planned activities. When 6 hours and 27 minutes into his shift, he's notified of an unplanned event at milepost 143.5. He gets into his truck, ready to respond with the necessary technology, parts, and tools. Sam arrives at the separation after a 29-minute drive.
Look at that
from a
convenient road.
centralized location.
Wow.
Identifies the broken knuckle and secures the rear portion of the train. By shifting from a traditional conductor to an expediter, the 45-minute walk to and from the locomotive is avoided, and the spare part is quickly and easily accessible from the vehicle. No need for time-consuming, complex maneuvering on a main line or siding to deliver the spare part or replacement. He grabs the necessary parts from his truck and completes the repair in 2 hours and 4 minutes, 1 hour and 10 minutes less than it took him in the traditional conductor role. Once Sam resolves the issue, the train can immediately depart. Sam no longer needs to walk all the way back to the head-end locomotive and reboard before the train can move again. The new speed and efficiency is a win for Union Pacific and its customers, reducing 1 hour and 10 minutes of time spent resolving an unplanned event's impact to transit time. The 1 hour and 10 minutes is also reduced from a locomotive engineer's trip, making their schedules more consistent. Just as important, it's a win for the Gering community, reducing 1 hour and 10 minutes of time spent blocking the public road crossing at County Road 24. Most importantly, the win Union Pacific hopes to achieve is to improve the quality of life for a large population of its workforce by replacing the currently experienced unknowns with a regular shift, a regular schedule, and the ability for expediters to sleep in their own bed each day. Ground-based expediters will have the benefits of more control over mealtime, rest, vacation, and sick leave. But most important, there is no more away from home. By taking the outmoded conductor role off the train and transforming it into a ground-based expediter, Sam and others will enjoy regular shifts and be home routinely to partake in quality family time. They no longer live out of a hotel or suitcase and can rely on planned rest.
Interesting. Okay, so pretty much I've seen a lot of comments here in the past, just from the past couple of days when I posted, or today when I posted this video of the Union Pacific official mentioning this deal. A lot of you are saying, just bring back both. Why can't you have conductors in the cab and expediter on the ground. That would make the most sense. But you have to understand, what are carriers trying to do? Carriers are trying to cut jobs. They're never going to let this happen. They will never let that idea happen. One, that would make way too much sense, because then you have a first responder on the head end. You have an extra set of eyes on the head end. If you have to do a set out or something, or maybe the expediter is busy with another train and it's going to take him several hours away based on how big of an area he is, the conductor just go ahead and get down and do the job versus waiting on the expediter. That would make sense. But you cannot solely have an expediter on the ground and then a derail happen, and then the engineer says, "Hey, expediter, I'm derailed up here at milepost 140. Where you at?" "Oh, I'm at milepost 87. I'll be there shortly." By the time he gets there, if it's a dangerous loaded vehicle or a rail car and it's leaking, and depending on the wind speed and what kind of chemical it is, you have innocent civilians killed. Children, doesn't matter. Children, babies, it could be anybody. That's unacceptable. And if you think this is a good idea to take conductors out of the conductor cab altogether and have this, you're ignorant. And please comment down below. And I'm sure thousands of followers here will inform you of why you're ignorant. And if you're ignorant, not knowingly being ignorant, and you're just actually wanting to learn, comment down below also. The biggest concern that I have, and I have always said, is the public safety. Union Pacific travels through, if I'm not mistaken, out in California, some of the most densely populated cities in America. Norfolk Southern runs right through Atlanta. They have a yard in Atlanta. They run right through Birmingham. They run right through Memphis, run right through Chattanooga, on up north. Then you have BNSF that's out in Texas, California also. It's too much of a risk, too much of a gamble, and the carriers are willing to make that gamble. They're willing to gamble the safety of civilians in the United States to further have bigger profit margins. If you think that's okay, I don't know what to tell you, unless just go live this life. Because if you think that's okay, you probably never lived this life, or you're a company official. The FRA does the right thing. I think the FRA, just based on how they carried themselves, they're going to mandate this 2-person crew rule. If the carriers were smart and they actually cared about customer service, actually cared about quality of life for their conductors, they would actually have this expediter as a job. So people with higher seniority could bid on it, so they could be at home every day and still make good money. But I don't think it's going to happen. But we will see. I'll see you guys in a couple of days with another video. Y'all take it easy. Be safe. Bye.